This is your assignment overview for assignment 2, and we're going to be doing, this week you're going to be doing a brochure design. So I'm going to jump over to your assignment description, and I want you guys to pay attention. We're building upon skills each week. So last week you guys did the rack card, and we're going to build on those skills. So this week it's a trifold brochure that is intended to advertise and promote a travel and tourist attraction. You'll have a list to choose from. The brochure should serve as a promotional piece that provides the user with basic information about the location, special events, exhibits, attractions, operating hours, history, context of the location, booking and ticketing information, etc. So, from the list provided, you'll select a local regional attraction to create a brochure. You'll use your creative brief worksheets. You will collect information and content for the brochure by working from information that is found on their website. So similar to what you did with the rack card, you're going to get content from the site itself. You should keep your target audience in mind throughout the development process. With images, you might be able to find some images, good quality images online through their website, or you might have to look elsewhere to find good quality images or even similar images. If you could use another good quality stock image and fake it like it's that location, then that's okay too. But if you can rely on images that you find through their site or their Facebook page or social media, we might have to scale them a little smaller in the brochure depending on the resolution. But we'll need to make sure that we have images that make sense with your attraction or venue. So the brochure specs, they're 8.5 by 11 trifold brochure with a quarter inch bleed. I actually have for this, I have a template provided for you all because brochure templates can be tricky. So you're welcome to work from the template that I provided you. Use a minimum of 3 to 4 images, no more than 2 fonts. Remember, try to keep those type families in use there for consistency. Minimum quarter-inch margins. This is also set up in your template. And this time you must use character and paragraph styles. So when you turn your package file in, I'm going to be checking for those technical things. So character and paragraph styles is a super basic fundamental in InDesign for page layout, and they're super handy. And we're gonna make sure that we utilize and apply those in this assignment. So your brochure should feature the attraction name and their logo. You can work within their existing logo. Imagery that showcases and highlights the attraction. A headline, call to action, existing tagline if they have one, events, exhibits, tour attractions, operating hours, ticketing and special event information, contact information, you can do like a fun little map if applicable, if it's appropriate. Use icons and vectors when and if necessary. A color scheme that fits the tone and nature of the attraction, and typography that fits the tone and nature of the business. Now, if you do have, say for example, you do a museum, a themed museum, for example, Louisville Slugger, you could have like kind of a baseball theme, but there's ways of doing that without it being cheesy. So just make sure, and some of the examples that I show you are going to show you how to approach the theme without going too cheesy with that. So just keep that in mind. When you are creating layout sketches, obviously start with those and your worksheet and then go into building your digital file. So I'm going to take a look here. I'm going to show you a quick example. This is actually a student example. This is a brochure by Daniel Garcia Lopez. Some of you guys may know him. This was actually created in Kara Williams Glenn's Art 330 course. So same assignment. We're just doing it online this time around. So if you'll take a look here, the front and back of the brochure. So with the brochure, this is one of the reasons I set up a template for you. The front of the brochure, that front cover, as you see here, this front cover, when it's folded, is actually on the outside of the brochure. So you have your front cover, and then the back of the brochure. So here's the front and the back of the brochure. And then this is your first little panel that you felt that you would, when you open the cover, this is what you would see is that first little panel. And then when you open the brochure and it folds flat, this is the inside of the brochure. And you have a column here, a column here, and a column here. And you're welcome to break that grid. You just have to understand how to work with the grid. So a couple of things here. We have, if you look up, we have clearly defined headers. We'll have subheaders and then clearly defined body copy. And that stays consistent throughout the document. We're clearly highlighting and explaining attractions and exhibits. And we've got some images that make sense with those. And here with the colors, see, for example, this is a science center, right? But it's not overtly science cheesy. There's some really nice colors that enhance this. This image is great. And we've got, a microscope, some things. So we're hinting at science without being over the top like cheesy. So just keep that in mind when you're approaching a thematic museum. You want to make sure you do it in a way that's professional and not too hokey. Okay. Again, clearly mark headers that create a call to action. Little welcome information panel area. And one thing too, visually interesting covers that really pull you in with dynamic imagery. We've got the logo and their tagline here, and any miscellaneous info maybe that you want to include on the front of the brochure to make someone want to read and want to learn more. So keeping in mind with that, I want to jump and show you some examples. So this is in your Blackboard site. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, so here's these are just brochure. This one I found online. It's a great little, and you guys will eventually mock these up, but we'll do that at the end of the session. We're not going to worry about mocking anything up right now. But this kind of shows you real time what this looks like. This is a nature museum, images, colors. Look at the typography, super clear. I have a header, I have body copy, and those headers and the body copy stay consistent throughout the document. So not only stylistically is that nice for the viewer, but it also lets us know like how to navigate the document. I have the hours and admission pricing, and I have all the necessary information here. Okay, and this is just the flat version. So again, the cover. This is technically the back, and then this is that first panel. And then this is the inside flat of your brochure. All right, here's another one. This is actually another piece from Carol Williams Glenn's Art 330, so the Salvador Dali Museum. Again, we're bringing in those colors. We're working with Dali's work and the imagery, but in a way that is appropriate. So here we've got the collections, the gardens that we're highlighting, contact information, visit, and a different call to action here. Okay, there's the Science Museum one again. That was in your assignment. We have Rock and Roll Museum. So again, this is one that, rock and roll has potential to be very thematic, but we're doing it in a way that is tasteful. We've got this super kind of rock type here that we're using for our headers, but then we pair that with a pretty basic, easy to read body copy. So we've divided out the levels of the museum. Nice little infographic looking thing here with a guitar. In the first panel, when I open the brochure, I see this little panel that says our story. So that kind of gives me a little brief summary. On the back, I've got kind of the sound level bars here and the get in touch. Again, another student work, Reed's Livery Winery. Wine tastings, about us, stables, so showcasing their amenities. And then I've got signature wines there, contact info, and some beautiful imagery, really working super well with imagery there. So again, you don't have to stick within those columns, right? This image breaks those columns. This image spans over to 2 columns. This cream color spans over to 2 columns. So you can really use the grid to section off and portion out the brochure. So pay attention to not just doing, here's something in a column, here's something in a column. If you break that grid and span those columns, you can really create some interesting designs. Right, Van Gogh Museum, super simple cover. This is the back here, contact info. I open it and then I see the about the museum. So very kind of minimalist on the front. When I open it, got some lovely paintings, image of Van Gogh, some copy. And this, you guys, so these are actually at the top here, these first examples, this is very similar to the project that you guys are doing. This is the project. And then this next little panel here, layout examples, these are not touristy brochures. These are just brochures that have really good layout and work well with the grid. So for these, I want you to look at how they're working with the type, how they're working with the layout. Okay, same thing here. Got these really nice use of color fields. Super easy, clear hierarchy. So these are more inspiration for aesthetics rather than how to go about building a tourist brochure, because these are not really touristy, they're kind of corporate. But this also shows you different layout approaches. Okay, so that's the intro of what you guys will be doing. Remember, we're using those character and paragraph styles, and I have included a video for you on that, but take a look at the assignment to get a gist of what you're doing and let me know if you have any questions.